Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's talk about Canadian CV format. Or is it really a Canadian CV format, or this is the world norm, the Western world norm? Let's discuss that in detail. I have previously made a video on Canadian CVs, but this one is more detailed. I'm going to take you through the screen recording where I'll share my resume, and I'd hide my phone number. Rest of the things would be there, and I'll try to share what I've written in the CV. Hope that helps. All right, so this is my CV. You see, firstly, you do not put any display picture here. Your picture should not be here. All right, simply it starts with your name, okay, and then your address and your phone number and your email address, and um, in my case, I have provided my YouTube channel link and my LinkedIn profile link. So if you have a website, if you have a blog and you want to share it, you can share it. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I shared my YouTube channel here. And LinkedIn link is always useful. Some people will say that do not include a LinkedIn link, but I did. So I would recommend that. Then you see, sometimes you are not sure whether you're applying for a sales manager role, or you're applying for a account executive, or you're applying for a key account manager, or if you're applying for an let's say sales rep job. So I'm talking about sales, right? Because my CV is all about sales. So when you're not sure which particular position you're applying for, then this is a simple hack that you can do. You can write a position in uh, a position as sales manager involving client experience, B2B sales, and key account management. So you can just put a heading like this. Otherwise, you can simply write here the exact position. For example, if you're applying for a software developer, then you can write software developer here, but you should write that so that the person reading your resume, that person would know what your resume is all about. Okay, then we start with a simple career summary. I would always suggest that you include it as bullet points, like I've done here. I can read it out for you. 11 years of experience in sales management, working with big retail brands and wholesale distributors. Okay, so this is about my experience. Then I talked about my qualifications. Qualified from CMI UK. Now, this is a diploma, which is my educational highlight. So I highlighted it here, right? Then, thirdly, talked about what I'm currently doing, which is $700,000 and 600 plus SKUs per month, and developed a new business of $1 million in season 1 2023, which was actually more than 1 million. I need to update that. So it was actually $2.5 million. I need to update that because season 1 closed, and I made more sales than what I had anticipated. Then the fourth point is specializing in key accounts, wholesale, business to business, new business development, and sales management. Now, this line is important. It has the keywords new business development, sales management, key accounts, wholesale, B2B. These are all keywords. So I wanted to highlight these keywords for what? For that thing called ATS, the AI based application tracking system. So you guys know that not all the resumes that are submitted for a job go through a recruiter's eye. They usually use this software, and the software reads your resumes and they catch keywords. So I inserted the industry standard keywords. Now, next up, this is important as well. I've put my skills here, and what I would suggest is that you should categorize them, your skills, in three different heads like this. And what you can do is, just giving you an example, my strategic operations skills include, now these are again all the keywords. All of these are keywords for ATS. Okay. So what was I saying? E-commerce, prospecting, new business development, CRM, customer relationship building, teamwork. These are all keywords. Then business reporting. So for business reporting, we have data analysis, call tracker, customer service feedback, website leads, etc. Then we got software expertise. So software expertise, I have listed down all the softwares that I'm expert in. And then you see the first page of my resume, it mainly talks about a summary. Okay, so the address, the contact details go up there, then which position you're applying for goes there, and then your career summary, and then your skills. So these are all part of the summary section, I would say. And after that, now I have gone down to my work experience. And this is again the first page of my resume. This is the first page. Now, if your work experience is very less, like it's less than a year, then your resume should not be more than a page. Okay. But since my experience is 11 years and I have written it down here as first point of my career summary, 11 years. So that's why my resume goes a bit longer. So the first experience I've written, it's the chronological resume. So the first experience is the most recent experience. This is ongoing. Okay, I'm working in this company called Sell and Tell Distribution. It's in Mississauga, Ontario. Sorry, it's in Mississauga, Ontario. And this is my position, B2B sales specialist and e-commerce lead. And I started in December 2022, and this goes to present. Now, this because Sell and Tell is not a company like, let's say, Walmart or Loblaws or Bell or Telus. So it's not a company of that stature. So this is why I introduced the company in a small sentence, which is Sell and Tell is Canada's most significant wholesale distributor of cell phones, accessories, and consumer electronics, with over 40,000 cell phones sold monthly. So, this is actually the biggest wholesaler of cell phones and accessories in Canada. So, I have carefully written most significant wholesale distributor. Okay, then next up are the job duties. Oh, this is an important line as well. Reported to managing director. Now, if you look at it, I'm talking about past tense. Now, these are the things that I'm doing right now, but obviously, in a resume, it goes in past tense, right? So, reported to managing director. Why is it important? Because some companies want to know the level of correspondence that you have done in your past experiences. So if you've reported to, let's say, anybody in head office, if you've reported to somebody in field, an operation manager, a sales manager, then you can write whoever you reported to. Okay, then these are all the activities that I have done or I am doing. Okay, but most importantly, you see the numbers. Everybody would tell you numbers. This is a live example how you put numbers. So developed a new business of $2 million from a single client, biggest ever transaction in Sell and Tell's history. So this was a highlight of my career. So I mentioned it first. And $2 million number again. Then led e-commerce project with the highest ever online order of 21,000. So 21,000 for the e-commerce project is a big thing. Okay, so this was one order, so I noted down that number. Then you see, this is what I did, but I included number 30 B2B accounts of WooCommerce. Okay, then again, complete handling of e-commerce. So these all includes keywords, sale orders, payments, shipments. They are all keywords. Okay, then trained 2 sales executives. So always write numbers. So 2 is a number, right? New business development of a Magic Email account with 600 plus retail store fronts. Numbers. So this is something I did. I wrote this line and I did not write a number, and I wrote this: ask me in the interview. So this is always, I try to be funny here, if a recruiter understands, right? Ask me in the interview. So, I mean, I'm not saying you should do that, but this is something I did. Then you see, all these numbers will go on. Okay. Now, always your most recent experience, it should have the maximum space on your resume, not the old experiences. Your most recent experience should have the most space in your resume. Then, my last job, previous job before the current job, so that job was in Pakistan. So what I did not write Pakistan, okay, because I didn't want to confuse the recruiter who would be reading my resume. So I just wrote Bata Group, my position, the duration, September 2012 to November 2022. You don't need to write dates, month and year is fine. Then again, reported to general manager sales and managing director. Then again, these are all the duties that I did. Now, since this is a 10-year experience, like 10 years and 2 months, so big experience, right? Big chunk of my career went into that company. So I wrote details about that. Okay. And you would see there all are numbers: four to five sales supervisors, right? 500 retailers, 74 franchises, 1 million pairs, 270,000 pairs. So all of these are numbers. Always write in numbers. Don't say that I managed an office. Say I managed an office with 30 employees. Okay, so always numbers. You need to figure out how to do that. You need to go through your resume again and again and again and again. Okay, then this is my YouTube career. I have mentioned it in my resume. Why? Because sales these days are dependent on digital channels, and many companies prefer people who actually have digital knowledge of social media. So that's why I included that in my resume. Then this is also a relevant experience to sales that I had in the past. So I included that, but you'd see only two bullets, only two bullets. And YouTube also didn't take many bullets. So always do what I told you about the new experience, covering half of your resume. Then, because this was 10 years job in a company, so I had to explain it, and I had so many achievements, so I had to note them down. Okay, so 2 pages of my resume go in my these details. Okay, then if you talk about the third page and the last page of my resume, this is education. So for education, I have obviously a bachelor's of commerce as well, but I did not write that. I only wrote two highest qualifications. One is Masters of Business Administration (MBA), and second is a postgraduate diploma from London. So I did not write my BCom. I did not write my my intermediate or any other, right? Then, if you note, I have written my CGPA. I know that people will tell you the Canadian resume does not need um, your CGPA mentioned, but that's what I did, because many companies where you will apply, you will see that they will ask about your CGPA. So I decided to include that. Then these are my professional developments, the certifications. Make sure there are more in the recent years than in the older years. Okay, because it shows that you are on a path of professional and personal development. All right. Then there is a section for achievement and awards, right? So these are all the different awards that I received. So I included them in my resume. So this is where the resume ends. Some people, sorry, where did it go? Some people would say that include languages here as well. Now I have some space. I could include languages. Why? No. Why is language important? Because I know many recruiters will say that if you know English, it's obvious that you know English. If you know French, then mention languages. But if you don't know French, no need to mention language. But let me tell you, Canada is a country of immigrants. Punjabi is the third most spoken language in Canada. So I know Urdu, I know Hindi, I know Punjabi, I can read Arabic. So, I can mention my languages here. Why? Because many companies, especially sales, they need people who are bilingual, who are capable um, of speaking or communicating with people in different languages. So if you know Spanish, if you know Tamil, if you know any of these languages, you should put a small section in your resume, not very long, just a small section, and include that. No need to include your visa status, or what would you say, your thing. No need to include your passport number or these things. What I told you about the contract information, that's the maximum you need to put. Some people would not even put their house address, they would only put their postal code. So you can also do that, but I would recommend writing a city name. Why is it important? Because the jobs that you apply for, they usually require you to have an easy commute. They don't want to give a job to a person who cannot travel to their office, right? So this is why writing a city's name is important. So this was a demo, a sample of my resume. This is the actual resume that I shared with you guys, okay? So I don't want you to go into any legal implications here, okay? I'm just sharing it for the benefit of my subscribers, the future Canadians, all right? So with these words, this is Ali Iftikhar, and I'm hoping great things are coming your way.